All right, as far as the injuries go, Mike Dana won't practice today, and Fulton won't practice today. Other than that, we look forward to challenge of getting ready to play a good Giants football team. You can really see that they've got a tremendous defense and a lot of skill on the offensive side, and their quarterback is playing well right now. So, and Bryan does who you guys are familiar with. Bryan does a good job, creative guy offensively. Plus, he's got Mike Kafka there on top of that. Mike's a sharp kid. And defensively, they've got a good scheme. One we've played against a couple different times when Shane was at Tennessee. So it's a good bunch there. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
So it sounds like that you were expecting Xavier and Royals to both practice in some form today?
Yeah, they'll practice today.
How is Royals coming along with that knee?
He's coming pretty good, yeah. Yeah, we'll just see how he does here. He's been out for a while, so I'd like to see how he moves around.
With Xavier, is there any limitations on the practice or anything of that nature?
No, neither of them, yeah.
Travis said that after the drop, talking about that there's a lot on his plate, and the team asked him to do a lot. I mean, at this point in his career, is there a tendency that maybe he has too much on his plate, that he would benefit from? I mean, load management gets used at this point in the player's career sometimes. Is it worth discussing that or talking about it?
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, Travis made so many of those catches right there, and I don't think that's an age thing or anything at that point. So he's fine. We try to keep an eye on him the best we can. Yeah. So.
And you just big picture, what do you see from the pass offense right now for you guys?
Yeah, probably the same thing you guys see. I mean, it's we're on at times, we're not on at times. So be the same thing you guys are seeing. Gotta keep working it.
Sort of like also the big picture. Through 2 games, what are you seeing as far as some of the issues on third down, and what do you need to do to correct what's happening right now?
Yeah. Well, we've been throwing the ball in those situations. And you want to keep them manageable, first of all. And then we've got to hook up on them, when called. So, and we can do a better job as coaches of putting them in a better position. So that's kind of the basics of it and what we've got to go through to do that.
Coach, I know you get input from Pat. You put together the game plan and say, hey, what do you like, what do you not like, and all that kind of stuff. How comfortable is he? How much is the formation part of that equation as well, specifically like Pat getting under center and maybe working from that formation as opposed to shotgun or pistol?
Yeah, he's actually grown into liking getting under there and doing that part of it. So we've worked a little bit more in there this year than we had in the past. Yeah.
You guys, the script at the beginning hasn't maybe been as good as worked out this year. Can you put your finger on any parts of that? I know Xavier getting hurt at the very beginning was a tough one in week 1.
Yeah, no, I've got to do a better job there. I can't stand here and tell you that we're going to try this or that. I mean, we're playing somebody here, so to answer that question, I got to give you the plays.
With that, how comfortable are you feeling with Patrick running as much as he has been?
Yeah, listen, Vi, I'm okay with it. As long as he can come back upright, we're okay. I don't like him taking the big hits, but he's a competitive kid. So, anyway, that's
On the run game, with Isaiah Pacheco and Green High, what have you seen from them that just haven't been able to get going?
Yeah, we can do a better job there. We'll get that thing going better. So.
You had Mike Kafka here as an assistant. What told you that he may be capable of calling plays?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like he could do it. Smart guy. Had played the position in the league. Had a good feel for defenses. And had a great grasp of the offense. So, no reason he wouldn't be able to.
How often do you guys communicate? I'm sure not this week, obviously, but in the off season and so on.
We talk a couple times during the offseason. Yeah.
Coach, in the media and fans, we get all excited and everything. Do we overreact? We look at an 0-2 start, and do we overreact?
Well, listen, we haven't won the game. So it's I understand, I get it, but you know we keep pushing and we'll keep pushing and working forward and see what we can do going down the road here. You know?
And when you guys are winning, you typically just focus on the next game. I'm wondering just because this is unfamiliar for you guys, is this something you address with the team at all? Just the start, just with what the record is right now?
No, I just try to fix the problems we might have, yeah, in all areas, including myself. So, yeah, that's what you have time to do. Be real with the guys. I'm not gonna not tell them what I think, you know. So, communicate with them and try to work it out and get it right.
Coach, there's some controversy going around the league right now, specific to Tom Brady on the Fox broadcast and co-owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. How much concern was that for you when you knew that he was going to be part of the broadcast team and he's getting to see your team from the broadcast point of view when you go through production meetings?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know what he's doing for them, so I can't answer that. I mean, I don't know. He's done a good job as an announcer, I think, but I don't know that either because I really don't listen to it. But I haven't really gone into all that. You know.
And did you approach any production meeting differently with him than you would any other announcing team?
No, we're not like telling secrets in the production meeting. So I mean, there's not giving them the plays and stuff in the production meeting. You know, but,
There's no, big guy touchdowns fire everybody up when you get an offensive lineman in there for a catch or anything. I'm curious, what do you do when Josh Simmons, you see the effort he puts in and tracks down a DB and takes him out? I mean, you roll that back a couple of times in the film session, or do you underscore? And what was kind of your reaction?
yeah, sure. I thought that was pretty impressive. I mean, 300-pound man running like that and making the tackle like he did. And sure, we talked about it. That was one of the positives. So there are a lot of things we got to work on, but that was one of the positives of the game.
Last one, go ahead.
Mahomes' 30th birthday today. Can you put into perspective just what he's done throughout his 20s in the league?
Yeah, he's done quite a bit, to 30. It's hard to believe he's 30 years old. I mean, time flies. I asked him if he felt old. You know, sometimes when you're in your 20s, you look at 30, and that looks like an old man. But he says he feels the same. I told him that's a good thing, because when you get my age, you want to make sure you feel the same. Doggone it.
frustrates you most right now, Creed, about the way you guys have gotten the production or lack thereof in the running game?
Yeah, I think it boils down to, just continuing to work on fundamentals. There's things we're missing fundamentally wise and things that, awareness wise that we just got to clean up. It's closer than what it feels like to being really good. So just continue working on the fundamentals and the awareness.
When you rewatch yourself and the rest of the offensive line, does this surprise you that this has been the sort of start you guys have had?
Yeah, there's new guys up front right now. We're working through some things. So, as just continuing to get reps together, continuing to focus on, the fundamentals, focus on, the film work, all those things. We have a ton of talent in the room right now. So, these as we grow as a unit, things are going to get better. So just keep improving each week.
What do you like that with Josh and Kingsley so far in a couple games that have been live for them?
Yeah, they're both improving each week, and they're both coming in with the right mindset, working on the things they need to work on, and they've gotten better throughout the past 2 weeks, and continuing to hope to see a good jump from them. But they're coming in, they're playing their tails off. Effort's been awesome, and they're continuing to improve each week.
How impressed were you when you saw Josh run that guy down?
Yeah, he's freaky athletic. Very impressive. I was behind him and I couldn't keep up, so I'm glad he made the play.
Creed, you mentioned, how being very close. Last year it seemed like it was very close, but you were always on the right side of it. Is there a, feeling of like, oh man, this is payback for last year for all, hitting uprights and different things that seem to go your way? Is it a mental part of the equation as well?
Yeah, I think, we need to be doing better in the critical situations. I think that's a big part of the game, and a big reason why we won so many close games last year is we were good in the critical situations. So, with us, it's just continuing to work on what we need to do in those critical situations, the approach of it, schematically, fundamentally, all these things. Just focus on that. And, a lot of, doing good in those critical situations won us a lot of games last year. So we need to step it up in those situations.
What's your reaction when you see Pat running over DBs and?
It fires you up. That's the leader of the team right there, and he's you can tell working his tail off, trying to do whatever he can to get us a win. So it fires you up and it makes you want to play better.
Great for you guys as an offensive line. How do you guys set the tempo this week to where people feed off you on the offense?
Yeah, starting fast and coming out of the gate, playing hard, physical, great fundamentally, all those things, and finishing plays. If our guys get tackled, we're there to pick them up, things like that. So, just leading from an energy standpoint, coming out fast, playing physical, setting the tone for the guys early.
In this Giants front with Dexter Lawrence, Burns, and Thibodeau and so on, what do you have challenge-wise?
Yeah, they have a really good defensive front, really good at all positions too. It's not just one standout guy here or there. They have across the board really good players, so it's going to be a great challenge for us. And I'm excited to see how our guys work this week through practice, and I'm getting ready for the game.
And Dexter Lawrence in particular is a very large man. What's the challenge in going up against somebody that you're giving up maybe some size and weight to?
Yeah, he's a giant dude, very strong, very powerful, but he's also very athletic for his size. So he's a really talented player, and he plays really hard. So it's a good challenge, and I'm excited for the matchup. He's a great player, and it's fun to go against elite talent like that.
Creed, after she went down last year for a long stretch, you guys leaned on the offensive line and run game to kind of make up for it. I wonder how much this year you feel like you guys maybe need to do the same thing until she gets back.
Yeah, that's more of a question for Coach than it is for me. We're just going to run what's called and everything. So for us, it's when those runs are called, we make sure we do what we need to do. And, we have a ton of talent in that receiver room, so we're excited about them too.
Awesome. Thank you, Creed.
Yep.
Thank you.
Fire away.
Patrick, happy birthday for one.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Just self-scouting yourself after the start and just looking at the tape of the last game. What are you evaluating and what you guys can do better?
Yeah, I think for myself, just being better at executing in some of those earlier moments in the game, especially. I mean, there was guys open, obviously Noah early, but even more than that, just if I kind of sit in that pocket a little bit longer, trust those guys, get the ball to guys down the field, I feel like we can make some more explosive plays. And so that was stuff I scouted on myself. But no, we're going up against a good defensive team this week, especially that D-line. And so finding the right moments to take those shots downfield, but not taking the negative plays as well.
Stay in the pocket longer. Is that something you frequently saw on tape, or just here or there?
Just here or there, mostly. I mean, I think even some of the runs that I made, if I would have just stayed a little bit longer, I could have made some throws to guys and let them make some plays happen. And so, obviously, the runs work, and so you have success in the play and stuff like that. But when you look back on the tape, sometimes you want to make sure that you're going through the progression the right way.
Patrick, Travis said that he's got a lot on his plate. The team asks a lot for him, and he feels like he has to meet that. And he talked about even last year feeling like he needed to be on the field for you when a lot of guys were hurt. Do you feel like this team maybe sometimes asks for too much from Travis, and maybe load management, if you will, would help him be fresher and longevity?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I know he wants to be out there at the end of the day. I mean, he wants to have the chance to make the plays happen, and he's made the plays happen for years. And so I don't feel like we asked for too much from him, but I mean, we asked for him to be out there and be himself and just be who he is, and I think that in itself is enough for us. And so I wouldn't. That's probably a question you can ask Trav, but I feel like he's in a good spot, and it's hard to get him off the field. I know that.
Patrick, in the past, you talked about explaining to guys. You had to explain to guys, just keep running. If I'm scrambling, I'm going to find you if you're open. Have you had to explain that to Taekwon at all, or anyone else?
No. I mean, I think Taekwon's done a great job to start the year. I mean, I've missed him on some throws, and he's made big plays happen as well. And so I think if he continues to play like he's playing, he'll continue to have big plays within this offense. And he's got a great role in this offense. And so I think just for us in general, I think it's just execution stuff. I mean, we're just barely off here and there. And in the NFL, if you're playing good defenses, if you miss plays, then the drives stall out. And so we're just going to continue to work and continue to practice and learn those things. And as we get guys back, we'll continue to execute at a higher level.
Patrick, I wanted to take you way back, shift gears. When you were 5 years old, you went to New York. You're going back to New York. What do you remember when you were 5 years old about that trip?
It's some of my best memories. I think just my dad being on the Mets and playing in those National League Championship Series versus the Braves, or playing in the World Series versus the Yankees, and that's when I could first start remembering stuff. And I don't know what the rules are back then, but they just had me out on the field. Like I was taking ground balls with like Derek Jeter and then shagging fly balls, and so it was super cool, and I had a lot of great experiences. Then back at the time, the Mets were my favorite team because my dad had the most success, and it's fun to be able to go to New York, and it's such a great city, and play a football game there now.
Patrick, what gives you faith that this team can handle 0-2?
I think it's just the people that we have in the locker room. Like even though we've never been 0-2, we've had stretches where we've lost big games kind of consecutively, and guys have responded. Like it's about the character of the guys in the locker room more than it is the play on the football field. And I think that we have the guys that are going to continue to work. They're not going to let this kind of push them down, and they're going to use it, if anything, as motivation to be even better. And so I think that gives me the most faith. And then the coaches that we have, they'll continue to push to be even better. And so we'll have a great week of practice this week, and knowing we're going to play our best football to win a game against a good football team in the Giants.
You guys have had a couple of times in your career we've lost a couple of games, right? It hasn't in the beginning, as you said. But what do you have to do specifically, not on the field? Is there a responsibility in the meeting rooms and all that stuff, or you just still play it 1 week at a time and don't try to make anything bigger?
You take it 1 week at a time, but I think just continue to even amplify the little details. I mean, sometimes when you're winning a lot, those little details get lost, and that's how you lose. But when you lose early like this, you have to really just focus on those little details and maximize those. And then you try to set the example on the practice field and stay after and do extra stuff and do a little bit here and there and push other guys to do the same. And so we're really good at that, and I feel like we've had great weeks of practice. And so that's why I have faith, is that I know how these guys are working and how hard these guys are pushing to be even better. And so now it's just about putting it together on game day, which I've seen these guys do before. And so I have faith that we'll do that.
How positive, Patrick, was it for you, because we didn't get to ask you this last week, how positive was it for you to see Xavier on the practice field, to get a couple days with him, and what are you hoping to reestablish with him if he is able to go on Sunday?
Yeah, I think more than anything, is having him out there is just a threat in general. I mean, he can at any moment take a pass, and short or long, and he could take it to the house. And so having him out on the practice field was very encouraging last week, because I mean, obviously we didn't know after that injury in Brazil, but seeing him out there, I mean, he wanted to stay out there. It was kind of like holding him back, and so hopefully we can go through a good week of practice and have him out there. But if not, guys will step up and guys will make plays, and so I'm just excited to get those guys back and be able to go out there and try to have some success on offense better than we did this last week.
We'll go across the room. Go ahead.
Patrick, I'm sure you're too busy to be thinking much about this, but sometimes the 30th birthday is a reflective time. I just wonder if it's a particularly meaningful birthday to you, and what thoughts you have about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's meaningful in a sense. It's always hard for me, my birthday in general, especially this year with the losses, but being early in the season, you're so focused on football and trying to get us going in the right direction. But we celebrated in the off season, and we went down, and I hung out with some of my friends. We all grew up together, and you see them, and like I'm a little ahead of them, but all of them, their wives are pregnant, and like they're getting they're finally like their jobs that they're going to have for the rest of their lives and stuff like that. And so it is cool to see everybody moving on in life and building their own families, and see how we've came from Little League baseball to where we are now.
And Andy said you told him you don't feel any different today.
No, I feel the same. I got kids, man. I've been 30 forever.
You mentioned the pocket protection. I guess with it being a new offensive line initially here, I mean, how much confidence do you have that you can go through your progressions and you have the time?
I have confidence in it. I just got to continue to show that on game days. I think that's probably the biggest thing I saw is that there was times where I left the pocket early this last week, even on some of the runs. And I'm like, if I could just sit in that pocket and trust those guys, they're going to protect. I mean, that's a good Eagles defensive line, obviously, and we're going up against another great challenge. But the more I trust him, I think the better the offense will be. And so I'm going to continue to do that and try to hang in that pocket and make throws down the field.
You mentioned having the confidence to make those kinds of throws, but how much of that also has applied to some of the struggles on third down that y'all are facing now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to continue to get the chains moving, but there's a time and a place where you got to take the shots down the field, and even like the throw to Taekwondo I had down the sideline that barely missed early in the game. I thought that was the right decision. We just didn't execute it at the right time, and so you look back on that stuff on film, and you have to take those shots because those are shots that can change games. And but knowing when to do that and when to just move the chains and do stuff like that is something that we'll continue to work on.
Patrick, you guys haven't had a lot of success in the run game, the called runs, not necessarily your scrambles and everything, but the analytics say that they're not really stacking the box on you. And is that, a big part of the problem is that you're going to the runs when the alignment says, hey, that's what we need to do, and you're not getting the productivity there?
I think it's something you continue to trust in. I mean, that's part of football is being able to trust in the run game, and whenever they are in the light boxes, run the football and force them to come down to throw some of the shots down the field. I think that will come together even more and more as the O-line continues to gel, and the running backs can gel with the O-line as well. And so more than just pass protection, I mean, when you have two new offensive linemen joining in, it's about building that chemistry. And so I think as the season goes on, they'll continue to get better at that.
Last two, Sam, and then Nick. Go, Sam.
Patrick, how much do you feel a record, like whether it's last season, whether it is 0-2, does the ensuing week feel differently based on what you did the last week?
I think obviously just being 0-2, there's more urgency than even last week. I mean, and I felt like we were very urgent last week. So definitely new territory as far as being 0-2, but knowing that we got the guys for it. We have the mindset of going out there and being even better. And so in my eyes, it looks like what an opportunity. What an opportunity to prove who we are as the Kansas City Chiefs is coming back from 0-2 and trying to build up to win a big football game on Sunday Night Football and try to get our season going in the right direction from there.
Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Patrick, earlier in your career, we can see you lower your shoulder like you've been doing, getting contact. Is that something that you're doing now just to give boost energy to the team or get a spark, or what is it?
I think just pick and choosing. I think more than anything, it's just knowing when to do it and when not to do it, protecting yourself, but still being a football player and a competitor. So I think that's it more than anything. And then Brad says to Taco Bell, so that does it for me too.
Yeah, Patrick, for you playing on Sunday Night Football, what's different about that than playing on any other day or night?
I've always loved Sunday Night Football. You grow up, you watch Sunday Night Football, and You get the spotlight on you. It's night game. You get the lights get brighter, and you get to showcase who you are. And I think it's a great opportunity for us. I mean, obviously with the start that we have, we want to prove that we're a better football team than we've shown these first 2 weeks. And Sunday Night Football will be the perfect time to do it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Fire away.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what did you see from Russell Wilson last weekend?
I see him clicking on all cylinders, trusting his arm, letting it sling, trusting his guys, getting the ball to his go-to guys as well. I think he find his different type of groove. He's been in the league for a few years, and I feel like he found a great combination as far as like having the experience as well as the younger mentality of just playing football and having fun. So he's definitely his groove for sure.
The receivers for the Giants, Reid and those guys, just what do you see out of them and the challenge they present?
Explosive. Anytime, like I said, with the quarterback like Russell, they can launch it 70 yards, and they can go get it at any point in the game. So for us, it's a challenge. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to the game.
Bryan, does 0-2 eat at you a certain way? Are you just so focused on the next game?
But each week is different. You know what I'm saying? You try to put it behind you. But the biggest thing I think you learn from it, where some positives, where some negatives, and then, obviously want to do more positives than good. And then each week is, it recycles. You know what I'm saying? So I still gotta wake up and watch film. Still gotta wake up, do my sauna and things like that to get ready for the next game. So, I mean, it's in the past. You learn from it. You keep moving forward.
Does it feel the same in the building, or is there a different vibe in the building?
I would say we're excited. Sometimes in life you get hit with obstacles, and it kind of tests you as a person, as a man, as a woman, or people out there. And you can now see, what you're made of, and you can start to not saying rebuild yourself, but kind of like, revamp in a way, as far as like, okay, like that didn't work. How can I, become better? And sometimes it takes you getting punched in the mouth a couple of times, but okay, cool, let me do this a little better this time.
Bryan, as a young guy, you guys haven't had to go through that getting punched in the mouth, because all you guys know is either it's the championship game or the Super Bowl. How do you guys mentally, everyone together and do?
Like I said, I think we're all excited. We're all excited for the challenge. Haven't been in this situation before, but at the same time, like this in this league, which I don't know me personally enough to know like the obstacles I had throughout my life. Whereas you talking about I lost 2 games in the NFL, like I'm still in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a little different. But we get an opportunity to play, I guess, great quarterback and great receivers. So I'm just excited for the opportunity.
How about just defense generally going from week 1 to week 2? How much improvement did you see?
Say again?
Just the defense improving from week 1 to week 2. What did you see there?
I think more guys are just hungry. Like I said, getting punched in the mouth, it kind of woke us up a little bit. But it's just seeing a new identity every year is a different year. We had different guys, different positions, and the trust factor, like the camaraderie we have this year. I know we had Juan Thornhill was here, Snead was here. Justin Reid, and the list goes on. But this year now, I'm the old head in the locker room. It's kind of crazy. But seeing how the guys gel together, it's a beautiful feeling, a beautiful thing to see.
Does the responsibility come with being an old head?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm the only one I believe at the DB room that's married and got kids. So they kind of ask me a lot of other questions. But it's pretty fun. They always joke with me about things like that. But it's nice to have that respect level, and as far as like just being there for them, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like we all going through life, we're all here for a short amount of time. We all, media and things like that, but who's to say how long my career will last, So I try to enjoy as much as I can.
Bryan, how close are you guys defensively to being where you can be?
Honestly, it's scary because we have so far to go, but yeah, at the same time, we're right there. That makes sense. A play here, a play there is dynamic, but the things we showed last week, very excited. But as far as like it being week 3, it's gonna definitely be some fireworks coming soon for sure.
Bryan, you mentioned the communication level between guys, especially in the safety area, but now you build upon in week 2. Did you like that communication and how it worked out in Philadelphia? That you push that going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we in week 3, so we're still working out some things. But to see, us fly around and communicate and, and have fun and enjoy each other's success is just a beautiful thing to see. And like I said, we're going to keep riding this wave out until, this end of the season.
Brian, whether it's in football or something that's happened to you in life, what do you lean on whenever you get in a tough situation like 0-2 or something like that can push you through it?
Mainly God, my faith. I have scriptures tattooed on my hands as far as reminders. Because life, and I know this is talking about football, but life things happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't, have a wife at home and things like that. So this is only safety up here talking to you guys. Patrick he probably still be here. Maybe different guys, coming in from the camera, and then I'll be, on the back end just watching and be able to sit. But it's a small time in my life, and I think just having my faith in the Lord and trusting Him where He's put me at and placed me, it's a beautiful thing to see. How He's working, with me my journey.
And then you're playing on Sunday night. What's different about playing on Sunday night versus any other time of the week?
I won't say it's too much difference. Thursday is kind of almost similar. Monday, playing at night is always fun. Under lights is always a big game feel. It's kind of like you feel like a kid again. The Friday night lights kind of feel. But you play on Friday against the Chargers as well. So it's it kind of all feels the same. I think more is just the week process. It's different recovering for a game. I got to play on Sunday, then you turn around and go play on Thursday. As opposed to, okay, we played on Sunday, and next week play on Sunday. So that's kind of the main part on that.
Brian, the Giants have 2 quarterbacks. They have, obviously, Russell and then the rookie, Jackson, who made an appearance last week. How do you prepare differently knowing that you could see Jackson for a small night?
Trust his ability. You know what I'm saying? Trust what he showed us as far as in college and things of that nature. Then where he's put on tape, even if it's not that much, understand too. Never want to sit here and undermine anybody because first and foremost, he's behind a great quarterback. So who knows what he being told in the locker room, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So respect, obviously will be as high as for him as it is for the starter as well.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.